You ever wonder why some mowers will last 10, 12 years and others won't last a season? It's all in how you take care of it. If you value that and look at it as an investment, I think you'd want to take better care of it, right? And if you take better care of it, it's going to last you longer, okay? We have customers that still bring their 25, 30-year-old Craftsman 42-inch cut in for us to service it every year, and it looks immaculate. They keep it undercover when not in use. They Maintenance is big with them. If it needs it, fix it. And then I've seen a Gravely that's 2 years old that came in and was ready for the scrap iron pile. Why is that? It's what's the common denominator? It's the individual that owns that lawnmower and how much they put value in it. If you don't see much value, you're not going to take care of it, right? I know we're in a throwaway generation where, we have what we call cheap mowers and then expensive mowers. My feeling on this is it's not brand specific. I think all brands will last you 10 years if you take care of it. So let's go down through kind of a list. They're not in order, it's just kind of top of my head here. The biggest one is oil changes. Not checking the oil regularly and not changing the oil every spring or every fall. And the ones that do change your oil, making sure that you're using the correct oil. Now, again, we're not going to talk brands, not like Quaker State, Walmart, they're all fine. What I am going to talk to you about is synthetic. Most of your newer mowers now require synthetic. What I did here at the shop, and we see hundreds of mowers, old and new, is I get it by the 55-gallon drum. And I go with all synthetic 10W40. That way I know that even the older machines are going to do well on it and will last longer. And I feel when I do an oil change for somebody in the spring of the year, it will last all winter and then back to me when it comes spring again. A lot of guys will say, well, I don't have very many hours on my mowers, so I don't need to change it as often. I worry less about hours and I worry more about seasons. Every time you use that mower, you're heating that oil up. And then when you shut it off, there's a cool down process. What happens when you go from hot to cold, hot to cold, hot to cold? You're going to get condensation in that oil. And that oil, if it starts looking milky, kind of the milk color, it's really bad. And by that time, you probably have already started ruining that engine. So if you're checking the oil on it regularly before you mow, and then at least once a season, I have guys that bring theirs in the spring of the year, and then I have guys that want to avoid the rush, and gals. I get a lot of gals. We'll bring it in the fall of the year. That way they avoid the spring rush of trying to get their mower to us and through the shop in a reasonable amount of time. So not only is checking your oil important, it's how often you change your oil and the type of oil that you put into it. Okay. The second one is fuel storage. Whether it's in your lawnmower or in their gas can, if it's sat there since last year, good chances are it's not any good anymore. Not like the olden days, guys, where that gas would last as long as it wanted to. It had a high octane in it. We didn't have, ethanol in it. But here's the problem. When you get close to the end of the season, don't keep topping it off with fuel. Get it down as low as you can. Even if you unhook the fuel line and drain it into something and put it into your vehicle, that's even better. We get a lot of calls of it started right up for me this spring. I headed out, I started mowing and it quit and I can't get it to do anything. It'll turn over, but it won't fire and it's not trying to start. Here's what actually happens. Even if you have a fuel shut off in your fuel line, where you can shut it off for the winter so you don't get a lot of, if the float is stuck or the needle is stuck where it's not emptying it into the base or in the head, it's still going to do what I'm going to explain. Is whether you have a shut off or you don't have a shut off, what's going on inside your fuel tank on your lawnmowers, push mowers, riders. Riders are the worst because you usually have 4 to 5 gallon tanks, right? But what takes place is over a period of time, it will start separating. And what happens when it separates? You have water on the bottom, you have ethanol, the next layer, and then you have the good gas at the top. When you started off in the spring of the year and you get a couple passes and then you start having problems, it's because the good gas that you had in the carburetor, in the fuel lines, in the fuel pump have run itself through, and now you're trying to run on pure water because every machine draws from the bottom. Okay. So when you start pulling, you're pulling solid water all the way through into that carburetor. And the only way out of that problem now is to drain the whole system out, carburetor, fuel lines, and the gas tank. And then I put everything all back together and I run some gas through it. On the carburetors, most of them have a threaded in bolt that you can take out to drain off any excess fuel that's in there. And then you're going to need 2 new plugs because you fouled them out when you ran the water. The better way is to limit how much fuel is in that system when it goes into storage. And that 5 gallon can, if it's sitting there, go ahead and put it in your vehicle and run it. And then next spring, buy some fresh fuel. And I like the 91 octane. Okay. So the next one would be spark plug. Because I just mentioned spark plug, right? If you come to us to get a full service, we're going to put in brand new plugs. If it's a twin, you're going to get 2. If it's a single, you're going to get 1. If it's a chainsaw, you're going to get 1. But we average around $4 a plug out the door. That's our markup, and it's a cheap investment. Why do I change the plugs out every year on my customers that come through here? And we see hundreds of mowers. And I've been doing this for 25 plus years now. It's because it works. And what works? With changing that to every year on my customers, I've got less redos of where the machine goes out and starts having a plug breakdown. So I'd rather just put the plugs in right now. This isn't any way taking advantage of you because you're going to thank me in the end. Because if you get your mower back and it works great all the way till fall until you're ready to put it away, you're going to be a happy camper with me. And we're reasonable. So changing the spark plug, if you guys that are do-it-yourselfers, you guys can change your own oil. Make sure it's the right oil mix. You know, storage wise, you can take care of that. Spark plugs, you can change that out. Go to the auto parts, get a new spark plug, and then we'll go on to the next, which is air filter. That's one of the other things that I see that people just don't take care of or even notice until they have problems. When it comes here for a service, we're pulling that cover and we're going to blow out the air filter if we can. If we can't, we're going to replace it. Your engine was made to run on a correct fuel to air ratio. And if that goes out of balance, you're going to have problems. If you don't have the air filter on it, it's going to run too lean and that could damage your engine. If you have a filter that's dirty or even worse with, oil and everything else built up in it, it's going to act like it's flooding the system. It's going to choke it, right? So everything I'm telling you is something that you can do to home. You can. The other thing I see is using it for unintended projects. If you're out mowing a hayfield with a riding lawnmower, that's not what they were made for. And you can laugh, but I've had guys that did that, you know, and you just want to pull your hair out with them because they're just stretching belts and they're overheating engines. And you need to keep the yard at a decent height and mow once a week. Don't go out every 1 month or volunteer to go cut your neighbor's lawn and it's this tall. You know, that's what they make brush cutters for, not lawnmowers. So using it the way it was meant to be used is another thing that I see quite a bit. Lastly is going to be storage. How well you take care of it when the season's over. Is it left outside to its own devices, or are you going to take and clean it all off, make sure the deck is clean, and wash it, pressure wash it quick, and then put it in where it's high and dry? And if you have a dirt floor in your shed where you park it, put boards down so that your tires are not sitting on the earth itself and you'll get less weather checking. Everything that I've told you so far to this point is something that you, the homeowner, can do yourself. A lot of times we do it because the homeowner just would rather not take the time to do it. But if you're asking me, Eric, what are the ones that I see last the longest and that I'm still servicing 25, 30 years later? It's the ones that the customers looked at that as an investment and they wanted it to last that long. And every day after 10 years, it's paid for itself. Think about that. In the comments, you know, have you seen lawnmowers that didn't last very long and got trashed? And you probably are seeing ones that are older than the hills that look brand new. So, on that note, you guys have a great day.